Moving on to the next part of this episode, I really would like to move into clinically, if someone is missing or has skipped or moves around or past, avoids a certain pillar here in the parenting process, are there a couple of examples from your perspective clinically where we see consequences of this not done correctly? Parenting. Where would someone suffer? Where might this manifest?
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking of a couple of different executives I'm working with right now, and as always, I'll never, share any identifying information. But I'm just going to say two executives. Mm-hmm. They don't know each other, both of which have said, "Oh, I spend far too much time on one troubling employee." Right? Mm-hmm. And okay, well, let's trace that back. How is it that we're not just sort of expediting the process of correcting them, and then waiting to see if they come through on the correction, and then making a decision, keep them or terminate them? Mm-hmm. It's not a complicated concept to do that, but both have said that it's a place where they get stuck. And that's probably because confrontation, well, in both cases, I'm thinking that confrontation is something that was highly discouraged or emotionally punished in the home where they grew up. They were always having to placate people in order to survive, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's a situation in which they're having to encourage themselves to go to that place that's uncomfortable for them, right? Mm-hmm. And in a sense, rescuing themselves by saying to not take action.
It's their edge.
Is mm-hmm. going to incur further problems for them and their companies. Mm-hmm. And they need to be able to console themselves by putting it in context and say, I'm fine. I'm taking one step at a time. I'm following the protocol. Somebody might not like the result when it's over, but it's perfectly fine to take the action, to document, and ultimately, if need be, to terminate.
So the way that they overcome this inability to address conflict is they have to start with encouraging themselves.
Right.
Yeah. And then they may need to be rescued from a situation that's negative, but they need to be comforted, corrected, improved next time, this and that, and then celebrate that you did whatever you did well, which leads us back into next time I'm going to be encouraged to do this a little bit better.
Right. I just have a friend with a different situation I just thought of now. She's a consultant, and she said, I know what you're going to tell me. She says, you're going to tell me this was just a learning lesson and to chalk it up and move on. And the situation was that she provides a service, but her client had different expectations of what the service would include, and she wasn't specific about the edges, the limitation of the service, right? Mm-hmm. So she said, okay, I've already gone above and beyond what should be expected for this particular service that I offered, right? And she said, I don't suppose I can expect that to be recognized. And I said, no, because you didn't set up the expectation. But now you have to fulfill the expectations of your client. And what have you learned? She said, I'm creating a new form next time with boxes to check off. So it's crystal clear what I do and do not promise.
And so you're helping her gently correct.
Gently correct herself. Yes. And I've just watched her in her business life really moved forward just in the last 6 months of us just being friends and sort of mutual accountability partners in our business, and encouraging each other. I've just watched her move so much forward. She's gotten more business because she has encouraged herself, right? And so this isn't that big a blow. It's like, learn my lesson and move on. And so she's not down on herself, which is great.
It's really great.
Yeah.